has broken me getting to series that I really love. Oh wait, that was actually like so cute. Hey, it's Day, and today I wanted to do something a little different and reflect on my reads this past 2024. Surprisingly enough, it is probably one of my smaller reading years, so it'll be easier to sift through the series that I've read this year. It's gonna be a crazy list of series because I am a mood reader. I do not really think about what to read. I don't have a TBR. I look at my mutuals reading lists and I'm just like, I'm gonna read that one too. And just to give you guys a quick summary, if you don't know me and it's your first time on the channel, I like anything with romance. There are a few exceptions on this list that I picked up because of friend recommendations, online recommendations, and I thoroughly enjoyed. So there might be like 4 maybe on this list with that, but mainly romance. So without further ado, let's rank my 2024 reads. And my 4 categories here is number 1 on my highest tier is It Changed My Brain Chemistry. I have series that I read where I relate so much and it hits so much that I learn essentially or grow from reading it. So I have a few series on the list that has done that for me, or it was just so good that it has kind of festered in my brain, has rotted it a little bit. You know, it caused a little bit of brain rot. So those kind of series will be up on that tier as well. Clean Slay is just series that was good, objectively. Subjectively, I mean, nothing really is subjective with art. Potentially amazing are for those series that I just began reading, because I have a lot of series that I read a few chapters at a time, and I think it will be good. And I don't know yet because I haven't read maybe past 20 chapters, or maybe I haven't read past 1 chapter. And my next tier is just cute. Since I read a lot of romance, I have a lot of series that are just cute. And sometimes I just, before I sleep, is usually when I read, I just want to pick up a series just to read a series. So turn my brain off, read something cute, and like be happy, serotonin boost. So I have a lot of those series as well. And finally, my lowest tier will be a bit forgettable. I wanted to make the last tier to be like a dramatic tier, right? I wanted it to be like burn it, get rid of it, but I really don't hate series in that way. I just forget about them. Like, I don't know. That's just the way I am. I guess I'm not a hater. I'm a lover. All right. So starting off, we have Introverted Us, which is like a cute love story between 2 introverts. I think it's cute. It's just a slice of life. So I don't think it's going to get too heavy or too deep into plot, but it's really relatable, seeing these 2 introverts struggle to interact with each other, interact with the world. So I say cute, and I'm sure it's going to stay cute throughout the series. The next series is Our Sunny Days. I love it so much. It makes me want to move to the countryside, which is something I romanticize anyway. So it's a perfect series for that. It's about moving back to the countryside and finding a simpler life, and also finding a cute romance with it. And the main character has a baby, so like extra plus. I think it's cute. I want to put it in potentially amazing because the themes that it covers is really touching, and I think has a potential to even change my brain chemistry by the end of the series. Next is Betrayal of Dignity. Y'all know from my previous video how much I love this series. It's so good. I think it is in Clean Slay. I think it's just good. I could recommend it to anyone, and it's a good experience. Next, we have, oh my gosh, forgive me if I pronounce any of these Japanese names wrong, because I am referencing Anilist right now, and some of the titles are just in Japanese, mainly because it's unlicensed. So here we go. This one is Yonimo Kahogona Maou-sama. This series was just cute for now. All right, Nina the Starry Bride. I actually read this series because I was going to join like an art contest, which I did end up drawing 2 art pieces. I just forgot to submit it. So I was encouraged to read that series because of the art contest, and I would say it is cute. I don't know. Right now, I'm very deep into the series. I've caught up to the latest chapters, and I am not really finding my heart pulled towards Nina and her journey. I only like 1 character, and it's Set. So I don't know what that says about the series. So I say it's cute. All right. So the next one is Black Sesame Salt and Custard Pudding. This one, I say it's cute. It's a cute romance. It's one of those romance that I wanted to just read one night and get through. The next one is I Hold the Tyrant's Heart. Bit forgettable. I think I read 1 chapter and I like DNF. Next is Tegami Bachi, letter B. I remember reading and watching this series when I was in 5th grade, and I saw it at my local library, and I was like, I'm gonna pick it up again. And it was an enjoyable time. I read 3 volumes, but the 4th volume was missing, so that made me not want to continue it. And I just say it could be potentially amazing. The world building is great. I've never read anything like it. The fantasy elements are unique, so I will continue reading it essentially in the future, and I think it might be amazing. All right, the next series series is Post-Possession Damage Control. This is, I would put it in potentially amazing. It gives off vibes of maybe Secret Lady, which is a series I hold so dear in my heart. I love, 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 but it is missing a lot of consistency, and I see the plot holes kind of already popping through the stories, and I don't think they'll be able to cover it later on. So it's a little messy in its execution, but it is trying to do something amazing. So I say potentially amazing, but it might just fall off for me eventually. We'll see. I'm not caught up to it, but it's something that I'll keep an eye on. Next is Chainsaw Man. This is one of those reads again that I picked up in my local library. So Chainsaw Man was one of those. I really liked the first volume, and I'm planning on picking up the next few volumes once I go back to my library. So I say potentially amazing. I don't know anything about the series too. I just know like the slight spoilers that I see on Twitter, and I'm really good at forgetting that too. So variety. Next, we have The Broken Ring, This Marriage Will Fail Anyway. I love this series. I think this is the very first series that I say changed my brain chemistry. The thing with this series is I read it through 3 different times. Probably all different years too, because it's been years since it's been out, and I've had a different experience with it each different time that I've had read it. And now that it's further progressed into the main meat of the story, I'm just like, oh my gosh, the main character is so relatable and her struggles hit so close to home. And I'm just like, I've cried probably a few times reading the series, and I've also read the novel. So that doesn't really happen for me. I don't usually read web novels when I've read the manhwa. Usually I either just read manga manhwa, watch the anime, or I read the web novel. I never really like do multiple because I think I'm wasting time. But for this one, I went on and read the novel, and it was just as enjoyable. One Room TA. This one was cute. I love it. It's a comedy rom-com, and it's just, and how can it go wrong? You know, there are actually some, like, it goes deep just a little bit for like one chapter, and I think I really enjoyed that chapter as well, but not enough for me to be like, yeah, change my brain chemistry. So I say that is cute, and I'm gonna put it on the higher tier of that cute tier here because I liked it. I really liked it. All right, next is Eat Your Heart Out. This one has every potential to be amazing. It is a sci-fi, so it's set in this dystopian world where there's different classes. I don't exactly remember like terminology for them because again, it's unique in its world building. I'm still very early on the series, so I don't know the meat of the plot yet, but I think they've set it up quite well. The stakes are high. I want the 2 characters to survive, and it's giving a little bit of like Trigun vibes because there are complex sibling relationships in it, but I think it's a lot more toxic. Again, look up the trigger warnings. Next we have Want to See My Ad. I read this so randomly. Again, I pick up so many random romance series that I just don't think twice about like reading, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I say it's really cute. It's about someone who wants a second chance at life, and she does get it, but she has to make her partner fall in love with her again. The title, Want to See My Cat, is sort of like an invitation to share their love for their pets, and so there's pets in the series too, and I love it. So wholesome. They're both so wholesome, and I like, they're the type of characters that I would like adopt. Selfish romance, a bit forgettable. I don't remember anything about it. Art was good, and I clicked on it, and I was like, yawn. Bastian. Don't hate me. It's a bit forgettable, but I have not DNF'd it yet, so I'm gonna put it on the top of this list. I know that the main lead is toxic, and that's why I picked it up, and the art is beautiful, but I think it is because it's an artist that I know and have followed through beforehand. Like, I've read a previous work of theirs. I know the potential incompetence of this artist, so I can kind of start seeing it already with their writing with Bastian. Alrighty. Next is Stomp Kick Love. This one, surprisingly, I thought it was going to be one of those cute reads that I read for one night and just like move on from, but it is actually potentially amazing. I think it's really unique in its the themes that it covers between the 2 romance. Yes, it is also toxic, but I think in a different way that I've seen other series that is trying to be like, I don't know how to explain. You just have to read it to kind of like understand. I really liked it. So I say potentially amazing. Shugo Chara. Y'all know how much I love Shugo Chara, so changed my brain chemistry because I absolutely love this series. I'm only 4 chapters in. There's probably more now, but I haven't caught up. That'll be fun to catch up later. Alrighty, next is I Failed to Oust the Villain. This is, I say, a clean slay. This was so addicting when I first began. When I first started it, I was just like, oh my gosh, I've never had anything like it. I binged through like 80 chapters of it, and then I waited for like the rest of the chapters to come out. Gave it a good reread again and caught up to like the very end of the series. Again, it's another series that I would just recommend to someone for a fun time. I think it's really good. Alrighty. Next we have Solo for Two. This is one of those series that, again, I keep finding series that are not like any other series at all. It is very psychological. It is very toxic. Again, look up for the trigger warnings, but I think it's so good in terms of the plot, the character development, the touching upon sensitive issues such as mental illness. It hurts me while I'm reading it, so I say it is on the change my brain chemistry tier. It's so good. I really like it. Virtual Strangers. This was cute. Another cute rom-com about MMOs, and like, how can you go wrong with an MMO romance? I've read a few MMO romance already and I've never disliked a single one, so cute if you like those. Bloody Sweet. This one is a bit forgettable. I really wanted to like this one because I saw the physical and I read the first volume of it physically, and I love the art. I love the concept. I love vampires. I am not picky with my vampire stories, but this one was just boring. I didn't really care for any of the two characters, and I guess because I just don't like bullying tropes, and there's a lot of bullying in this series, so I didn't enjoy it. So I said a bit forgettable, or at least I want to forget it. So, all right, the next one is in Korean, so forgive me if I mispronounce this again. It is Jungganeseo Manna. Wow, I killed that. This one was cute. I really liked it. I think I'm gonna put it on maybe like the number 2 of the cute list because it was just a good wholesome read and I wanted to keep reading it, and I care for the two characters and I want them to be happy. That's essentially my bar with cute, so very cute. Next is Me and My Beast Boss. This was also cute. It's an office romance with our main girl and her beast boss, so it's cute. The next one is Lock Onto You. Forgettable. It was one of those reads where I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good. It's a toxic male lead or it's a toxic relationship, and I'm just like, no, it's not the type of toxic I'm looking for. So I really wanted to like it because the art is really pretty. But next is Skip and Loafer. I don't know if any of you guys have found me through my Skip and Loafer video, and if you haven't, check out my Skip and Loafer video. It's my psychoanalysis of the character Shima, and I absolutely love all the characters. Don't get me wrong, I know that video was about Shima, but all the characters of Skip and Loafer is just lovable, well written, relatable, realistic. I want to adopt all of them, and I want all of them to be happy, and it hurts my heart even just looking at the series, even just thinking about the series. I would say it's my top series, confidently, in 2024. It has broken me. Having like flashbacks right now. It's one of those series that I had to stop reading. For now, indefinitely, it is a DNF because of just how much it hurts me. I know, guys. Books can do that. Books can do that. And I think in the future, I will be able to read it. This series has affected me deeply. Next series is In Another World, My Sister Stole My Name. I don't know. This has a cool premise and a cool setup for like a fantasy world, but it's not doing enough fantasy and it's not doing enough in my romance department either. So right now it is a bit forgettable, but that might change. I'm gonna put it next to Bastian because it kind of is like in that category of like, I might read it in the future and I might like it a bit more, but right now it's a bit forgettable. All right, next is See You in My 19th Life. I say this is a very clean slate, right on top of my clean slate tier, and this was so good. It was recommended by one of my mutuals on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and I don't usually read modern romances, as you can see from my list here, in terms of manhwa at least, and I was just like, hey, I don't read modern romance, would you like to recommend me some? And this was his number 1 recommendation, and I loved it. I read it in one night and I was like crying by the end of it, and I love all the characters introduced, so clean slate. Next is Lost in the Cloud. I'm gonna put this in clean slate as well. It would have made it in the tier of Change My Brain Chemistry if I had read it, or if I had ranked it like maybe a few months prior, but currently where the story is at, I'm just like losing interest in it, and I say it's still a good read. It's a good psychological read, so good recommendation. I would just recommend for people to pick up. So all right, next is The Villain's Savior. This is a little controversial. I say I would put The Villain's Savior to just cute. It's not a cute series. It's not cute cutesy. But the plot and how deep it went and how well it was executed, I say it's cute. Like, it did its best for what it is. And at the time that it did come out and at the time that I did read it, it was really good. But times have changed and the series have improved, so it isn't my cute. And why did I read it in 2024? It was mainly because for a video. So I reread it for a video and I was like, oh yeah, perspectives change over the years of like when I'm reading it from like 2018 versus now. Not 2018, I would say 2020. So 4 years ago, I really loved it. 4 years later, it's just cute. All right, next is turning the mad dog into a genteel lord. This was so good. This was so unexpected too. This is another one of those series that I just picked up because I saw one of my mutuals reading it. So I say clean slay. Actually, you know what? It's not done yet. So I say potentially amazing. It's very much in the early developments of its plot and world building. So I say potentially amazing. We're not there yet. It's not at the clean slay yet because it's not almost done or done. Next is saving sweets or after hours. I don't remember anything about it. I would say a bit forgettable. It was one of those series that I read for the romance. I don't think I found it cute enough to be like, oh, that was a cute series. I just forgot about it. So next is The Villainous Guide to Not Falling in Love. I think this has the potential to be amazing. This might be a little controversial for those who have read the series. I think this series is on the same level of this series right here, In Another World, My Sister Stole My Name, because they're both set up in like fantasy worlds and there are like a lack of consistency. It falters in a few aspects, but then it picks up again the next volume and it'll falter again and it'll pick up again in another volume. Like switches, my opinion, each volume that I read. And it's also the first one on my list that feels very different from my traditional manga. It kind of feels like an Otome game almost, and that's rare because I don't usually like reverse harem, and this one is like giving reverse harem, and that's cool. Like, I don't really have series like that, so that's cute. There are fantasy elements and there are world building in this. I'm a bit confused about, and I think that's my biggest strife about it. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just maybe like delivered badly or I have to reread it. Might be user error on my side. We'll see in the future. So potentially amazing. All right, next is My Darling Next Door. I think this was cute. It was just a cute read. Again, one of those reads that I will stay up at night and just read quickly through. My Cheeky Brat. I think I just completed it this year. I don't remember any part of the plot. I mean, it's a romance, so there's really like no plot. It's like the blooming love between these two characters. I say it's a bit forgettable. I didn't really like it. Bit forgettable. I know maybe that's problematic or controversial opinion, but I didn't like it. Next is Home Sweet Home. This one, bit forgettable. I remember reading this and I'm like, it's gonna be cute. It's gonna be cute and wholesome. Green flags everywhere, which is bland. So sadly, a bit forgettable. Next is Hoteri Hotete First Kiss. I think this was a collection manga, but I only read the first chapter, so I don't really know. I plan on getting it when the physical releases, which might have already been. I'm not 100% sure, but there's a physical lined up for this. It's the same author as one of the mangakas that I'm like looking forward to this year as well. So I would say potentially amazing. It's an anthology, so like I don't think it's gonna be like anything higher than cute. You know what? We'll just put it in cute because I think it will just be cute in the end. Next is Kimi to Barairo no Hibi. But this one is so cute. I think it has the potential to be amazing. It's one of those manga that centers around quite like a weak-hearted main character, and she has the potential to grow into someone amazing, and the male lead helps her to go out of her own shell. Like that's a common template for romances, right? But this one, I really like how it's executed, and they're both so cute and dorky, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. It's currently on hiatus, and I pray for the mangaka, and I hope they're okay, and I love their series. So anyways, next is Watashi no Koi no Hajime Kata. This one I say is cute. I really actually, you know what? I'm gonna say potentially amazing because I really relate to the main character of the series. She's the type of like character that just doesn't think too much about herself, and she does a lot of like self-sacrificing for other people, and our male lead kind of makes her self-aware and like, hey, what are you doing being weird and too self-sacrificial? Well, it doesn't exactly go in that direction, but that's essentially like the gist of the story, and I think it's cute, and I think it's a great manga. I want it on my shelves. Okay, next is Himakuzu Hana-kun wa Shinni Tagari. Y'all have to just look up the titles for these. This one was about like a yandere? Question mark. Slightly yandere? Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's nothing like I've ever read before either. Well, I lied. There's some yandere that I read. But you know, it's like it's in modern setting, and it's like cutesy too. Like Seiken is cutesy. I don't know. It's just cute. I don't like particularly love it, but it does something different. So, okay. We're getting to a series that I really love. Okay, anyways, this one is, hi, I'm a witch and my crush wants me to make a love potion. Change my brain chemistry. Actually, you know what? I will put it higher on than Skip and Loafer because I'm a romance girly and the romance is romancing so good in this one. And I love it. I love their awkwardness and I love, like, the two characters, they're not tropey, if I say that correctly. They're not exactly cookie cutter type of characters. They have nuances to them and they're so cute in their relationship too. Their relationship itself is very nuanced as well. It's not a straightforward, like, but first sight or slow burn. It's a lot of, like, they banter a lot, and I think that's missing in a lot of the series that I've been reading recently, because it's either red flag where it's like banter is one-sided, or it's either like green flag where like there's no banter and they're just sweet and wholesome, which I also love. But this one is just like there's a back and forth to their relationship and like their dynamics always changes, and I never like expect a change in their dynamic, and I'm just like, it's so cute. I love it so much. I've reread it so many times and yes, changed my brain chemistry. Next series. Alright, so this next series is from the same author as the previous series, the Hi, I'm a Witch, but it is done by a different artist and character designer. So same authors from a light novel, but different artists. But the artist did not fail, and if anything, the artist elevated the series for me, and it is reliving my life with a boyfriend who doesn't remember me by saying that 3 times as fast. I've said that title out loud to like 3 Barnes and Nobles workers, and each time I say it out loud, they're always like, I'm like, please, I'm a star. It's so good. Like, give it a chance. I think it's my #1 series of 2024, actually. I lied. It's not Skip and Loafer. I lied. It's not the witch one. It is this series. It's a very long title, so I'll just say reliving. It's so this series is basically held in a wizard witch academy. There's magic, there's fantastical potions, there's professors and teachers that they're involved with, and there's also a semblance of like royalty hierarchy in there. Our male lead is a duke, I believe, and our female lead is just normal student. And the premise of it is they were a loving couple, but then something happens that kills the male lead. Like, he dies. That's not really spoilery because that happens on the first chapter. And then the girl relives her life, and of course the guy doesn't remember her. So she has to like cope with the fact that there's this person that she loved very dearly that loved her very dearly back, and it's an unrequited love because like she can't repeat the history of like them falling in love again, or she's quite strange. She's quite forward. Not strange. I wouldn't like strange in a bad way, but strange in a good way. I love her so much. Love her. And it's very angsty, essentially. Like, the main theme I think that they like to delve in this series is unrequited love, and your girl is a sucker for unrequited love when done well. I think shoujo manga like is the thing that ingrained my love for unrequited love themes, which hasn't been done well in the recent years, and I think this is so good. Not just that, I think the art is so beautiful. I can talk for an hour about this series, but I will not. Let me just say it's so good, and if you like romance, if you like magic, if you like unrequited love, pick it up. It's so good. And there are 2 physical volumes out right now too, so it's a really pretty series. So if you're one of those people who collect manga for like the aesthetics and the art, which I do, it's also a great series to have on your shelves. The next series is Nichi to Seiju, and I say this is gonna be like one of the first like cute romance thing that I just picked up that goes in clean slay. I think it already reached the point of clean slay. The relationship is so cute between these two, and like it feels natural. Like, romance for me, because I've read so much of it, sometimes it doesn't feel natural anymore and it feels very like tropey and cliche, which I don't think is bad necessarily, but this one just feels like having people getting to know each other in the office environment, and they're so cute, and I can just like wait for a new chapter once a month and be happy reading it. So I really like Nichi to Seiju. Okay, next is My Reason to Die. This is a clean slay. Again, thank you so much to my mutual on X, recommended me on this one too. So he recommended me See My 19th Life and My Reason to Die as a modern romance manhwa to read. And this one did not fail. The whole time I was just like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Oh my gosh, what's happening? It's getting worse. And it did get worse. And the ending was just so good. I cried. Ooh, it's so good. I love it so much. Clean slay. Next one is Double the Trouble Twice as Nice. This one is, I say it's cute. I think it's on the higher end of it's cute. I would say maybe like the 3rd one. It's just the romance. It's cute. I don't know. Do I remember its plot? There's definitely a plot around it. I think there are some stakes in the the series, which is like not really a thing in romance, but this one does have stakes in it. I think it's almost done. Don't take my word for it, but it was a cute read and I really liked it. So double the trouble, twice as nice. All you're gonna get from me is if it's cute or not. So next is getting married to a good for nothing. Would this marriage work? Oh my gosh. I say I really want to put this in clean slay, but the ending was just like giving nothing. I almost want to put it in a bit forgettable, but it definitely isn't forgettable because I love the first half of this series and how they were touching upon like very tender subjects. So I guess I'll put it at the bottom of cute, but the ending just gave me the ick. And that's coming from someone who loves red flags, but just could have been better. The potential. I mean, I guess I could put in potentially amazing, but it's done. It's done. So the potential can't be reached anymore. So, all right, the next one is a matcha made in heaven. This one was so cute. I loved it so much. Not only do I love matcha, I also love like countryside kind of tropes, and it does have that countryside trope where someone moves to the countryside, finds a better life for themselves, and also maybe a cute romance. So I say this is a clean slay. Along with Nichu Seiju here, it's one of the few like romance manga that did make it to the clean slay, even without having like a heavy plot. I'm thoroughly rooting for every character in the series, and there's characters that you might hate, but there's also characters that you might love. And then like they're not exactly like polarizing characters. The character you'll hate, you might start liking later on, and the character you love, you might be frustrated later on. They're real people, and I think that's so cute and well written in Matcha Made in Heaven. So cute. I love it. I reread it every time I get a new update. So next is Komomo Confiserie. This one I picked up again from my public library. They had the whole collection, but sadly it was a DNF for me. It was so forgettable. I don't know. I really wanted to like it because I loved Special A, but probably because it's a bit dated and I've read a lot of shoujo manga now. It's just, it's just a passing series for me now. So sadly it isn't a bit forgettable, even though I love this mangaka. All right, the next one is oh my gosh. The next one is Toshita Joshi wa Homereratai. This one was cute, another office romance, and I think it was really touching how they resolved their conflict. It's a very one-note series. Again, one of those romances that I picked up one night and just wanted to get a good romance read. Next is Yurejo no Danna-sama. This was really promoted on X, and I just picked it up because I saw like a big account promoting this one. It has only one chapter right now. It's unlicensed. So I say it has the potential to be amazing. At least I hope so. Next is Villains Are Destined to Die. I love this series. I would say it changed my brain chemistry because of how good it is. So not clean slate, changed my brain chemistry. Y'all know how much I love this series already. So do I even have to talk about it? Yes. Anyways, next is Siraku JK2 Haijin Kyoshi. This is, I would say, a clean slay. It is a rom-com with a little bit of dark humor, so that's why I put it in clean slay, because nothing really matches it, at least for now, from what I've read, in terms of like covering a little bit of like cynicism and death maybe. I think it's so funny and I've gotten a good laugh about it. So if a rom-com makes me laugh, I say clean slay. I think it's great. I would recommend it. Do I recommend it? Okay, maybe it's gonna be on the top of cute. It's on the top of cute. Okay, next is How I Met My Soulmate. This is one of those series that I really wanted to love too, but I just got bored halfway through the series. Like, it was a really good setup of like a dentist, working girly. Oh no, is she in college? I don't remember at that point. And like, the male lead is really cool, and that's all I remember about the series. So it is a bit forgettable. I'm gonna put him right there. Maybe. I only remember that the male lead is a dentist, so a bit forgettable. I read a good amount of it too, like 15 chapters. All right, next is Deatta Toki Kara Koi Deshita. This is an anthology by one of the mangakas that I ended up really liking this year, so I say it's cute. I really like that mangaka. She pretty much covers like the same themes in her stories, and it really showed through in this anthology as to like how the current series that I love from her came to be. So I say it's a cute read. Pink to Habanero. I say this is a clean slay. One of those shoujo mangas that I'm like, it's hitting everything that I want from a shoujo manga, and it's so cute. Would recommend. Clean slay. Next is, oh my gosh, this one's long. I'm just gonna put the title there because this is cute. I would like put it higher on the cute tier because it slays on a little. I love the art. And I love the relationship. It's very cute. And I want them to be happy. So it's on the higher end of, but I don't think it'll be more than what it is, which is a romance. So, anyways, next is Kurahime to Koi Karasu. This one is potentially amazing. It's a one-shot currently. I don't think it's serialized yet, unlicensed, so I'm hoping it becomes amazing in the future. Next is Otaku Vampire's Love Bite. I really love this one. I also have the physical for this series, so I experienced it both digitally and physically, and I loved it at both of my reads, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the series, and I think it has the potential to be amazing. So it's about this vampire girl who is like a super fan of this character from a show that she watches, and one day she finds a real life person that looks like this character, and she totally like freaks out, fangirls, and befriends this person. And luckily this person is super wholesome and supportive of her and her vampire struggles. So a very cutesy type of series. Alright, the next one is Okuremashite Seishun. This was so cute. I say it has the potential to be amazing. Currently, it only has 10 chapters, so it hasn't progressed further than like what I've been introduced to. I really like how it started, and the relationship is really cute. I just hope they do something more for me to like engage with the characters more, at least like a little bit of their motivations in life, and put a little bit of stakes in there. I don't know, whatever stake that they'll add, but I say it has the potential to be amazing. So I'm really looking forward to the future chapters of this one. The next few are my delinquent reading experience. One week I read all delinquent manga, so I can make a video about it. So the next series is Glasses with a Chance of Delinquent. This was a clean slay, everything that I asked for in a shoujo manga and more. All the characters are so lovable. I think if you create a lovable set of characters, especially in like a slice of life type of setting, and I'm always looking forward to reading like what they're doing and how they're living, and like it's kind of like a game that I want to like keep coming back to and like make these characters continue on living. Exactly this series, and I love it so much. So next is Love That's an Understatement, another delinquent manga which I did not expect to love as much. I have read this author or mangaka's other series, and it was just like a cute series for me. But Love That's an Understatement, I think because of Risa, the main character herself, she has like got my heart fully. Like I will read anything that Risa does. Risa learns how Risa grows. I love it. So I say clean slay. I would put it right there. Next is Honey So Sweet. This was just a cute series. I loved it. It did exactly what I was like craving for at that time, but I don't think it ever did anything bigger than itself. So I say it's just a cute series, something that I would like fulfill like my romance itch, you know, like one night I'll like open it up and read it. So in the cute. Next is, this one's an interesting one. Next one is Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You. I don't know what to say about this because I think it has the potential to be amazing, like objectively. But right now, the writing stinks. Like it's so bad. I don't want to say that because I think this is the mangaka's debut series, and it is getting animated this year. Maybe the anime will execute it differently and give it some justice. The art looked really pretty, but I'm like being positive, saying it will be potentially amazing, but maybe it will fall into a bit forgettable. For those who are curious, the premise is it is like a reverse harem of all these childhood friends who like this one girl, and they're all kind of just annoying. And I think that's my biggest strife with this series. All the characters are annoying, but because they were annoying, I kept on reading. So it was one of those series that that kept me reading because the characters were so annoying, and I was like, how much more could they suffer? So anyways, moving on. The next series is Serenai Kanojo no Hitorichime. This was forgettable. I really wanted to like this one because like the premise of the main character being like a reader of romance was taking me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna relate so hard. And then I just kind of, oh wait, why is it in cute? And I kind of just forgot the rest of it. Like I don't remember the male lead, forgettable. I don't remember any of the part of the relationship, so a bit forgettable. Alright, the next one is Fall in Love You False Angels. This is potentially, I would just put this on cute for now, because right now it is cute from what I've read of it. The premise is great. I do like the two-sided personality kind of thing, but I hope that they take it deeper and make the characters more complex, because right now the characters feel a bit shallow. The art is amazing, so I will give it that. Next is Queen's Quality. These two kind of go together, Queen's Quality and QQ Sweeper, because QQ Sweeper is the prologue and Queen's Quality is the current long-running series. I not get very far from it. I think I've only read like 14 chapters of Queen's Quality. I've completed QQ Sweeper like a few years ago. I just reread it this time to understand what I was getting into, and I say it has the potential to be amazing. So this one, of course, is already like, it's good, it's a clean slate, and then this one has will potentially be amazing. So potentially amazing. If I can like continue reading it later on. All right, next is Tamon's B-side. This one is potentially amazing. I've only read one chapter of it from like a sample, and I think it's cute. I really like the art style. It is from the same author as Takane and Hana, and I love Takane and Hana, and I think if I like the gags and the jokes there, I'm going to enjoy the gags and the jokes of Tamon's B-side. And there's also an anime coming out, so it's a win-win for me. I think it's gonna be amazing. So next is Ore no Yome ni Nareyo. I don't remember anything about this series. I think this is one of those series that was on my like currently reading like from years ago, and then I was just like, I need to finish it. It's completed now. So I am a completionist, and I finished it, and I was like, yep, gave us nothing. So it's a bit forgettable. The next one is King Yoya-san no Karisome Fufu. I believe it's still unlicensed, but I think it has the potential to be amazing. I think there's a bit of like angst introduced right now to it, and the premise of it is they're in a arranged marriage for convenience, for like documentation paper benefits, and you know, it's very cute, it's very wholesome. There's nothing that really like puts the characters up against each other right now or like raises the stake, but there is a bit of like angst sprinkled in there, maybe from like their past and their upbringing, and they are really making these characters complex. And so I say it has the potential to be amazing because it already built up that foundation for us, and I'm like, yes, I'm down for complex characters. All right, next is the villainess flips the script. I was very surprised with this series. I did not expect it to pull me in as much as it did. It has a title of like a series that I would just like speed through and just forget later on, but I really like all the characters. They're all really charming, and I say clean slay. So the next series is Futarijime Romantic. I randomly found this one night too, and I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, cutesy series that I'm gonna read one off and I'm just gonna be like, good vibes. But no, this is a clean slay series. I really like the back and forth exchange of our two main characters, of their different perspectives of life, and just them coming to an understanding of like their differing views. And I don't know, I think there's a reoccurring theme of me just really liking those type of series, because in life there are different people with different perspectives than you, and you do learn to love them by understanding those different perspectives and coming to meet in the middle. And perfect example of this series. So clean slay, I loved it. It's one of my top like shoujo manga currently, so I wish it was licensed, but I'm not gonna ask too much. I think it was good. So all right, next is forgive me for pronouncing this wrong. Actually, I'm not gonna even try to pronounce it. It's that one. I don't remember. I'm so sorry. It's a bit forgettable. I read this a while ago, maybe like 2020. A lot of people love this series though, so give it a chance if you like plot intrigue, which I actually do. If you like plot intrigue, historical, but in the Korean setting, and like really bold characters, it's a good read. I don't know, it's like everything that I want in a series, I just wasn't into it. So, but maybe it's just my mood at that time. I am a mood reader, so it's forgettable. Actually, I'll put it up next to Bastian because it might be that kind of case where I think I'll enjoy it later on, just not the time that I like picked it up. All right, next is Golden Sparkle. I don't remember anything about this series. I think it was cute. That's all I remember. Next is, oh my gosh, my few exceptions, JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen. That changed my brain chemistry. Y'all know how obsessed I was with this series, and I still am. So yes, it's up there. It's very much up there. Next is Moonrise by the Cliff. Forgettable. I just don't have the affinity for historical manhwa set in the Korean setting, even though I really like it in K-dramas. But with manhwa, I'm not driven to read any of it. I'm just like, ew, the rulers are too condescending, the class system is too far apart, and I know it's the same as like Otome Isekai, but like, it's not. I don't like it. I guess I just don't like historical. So, next is Saving My Sweetheart. I really want to put this in Clean Slay because it has like unique fantasy elements and world building in it. And I think the relationship between two characters are unique too. But I think it just falls under cute in the end. There's a lot of loose ends in the plot. And I was just like, it could have been amazing. It was one of those series that I think I am more harsh and critical about it because of its missed potential. I am more critical on the series were potentially going to be amazing compared to a series that I knew like, oh yeah, this is meant to be like a cliche type of series, right? So it falls down to cute because it missed that potential. So, right, next is My In-Laws Are Obsessed With Me. This is a clean slay. I was gonna go like, did it change my brain chemistry? I say like early on the series, it did. It was very dark and gritty, and it wasn't anything like other otome isekai that I've read with the elements that it was given. But like currently where the story is, it's like, okay, like I'm losing interest in like the subplots that they're inserting in there. And I know they've set it up from the beginning. Like they were kind of like, it's written well. Let me just say that. It's written well where like the subplots that they're including now make sense. And the subplots like did not just come out of nowhere. Like, you know, the author was thinking about it. But the themes that it was covering and I was hoping that it would go deeper in was kind of like lost. Maybe it'll come back near the end and maybe I'll change my mind about it. But right now it's a clean slay and that doesn't mean it's bad or per se. I just really liked it and I would recommend it to anyone. Okay, next is What It Means to Be You. Oh, this is a tough. I think it changed my brain chemistry. It was one of those series where, like, unexpectedly, because I was reading this to hate read it. Like, for example, like this series, I was hate reading this series. Like, I hated it so much. Both characters were insufferable. I hated everyone around the main characters too. And I was just like, I just want to choke everyone. Endearingly. And by chapter 90, and I know that's crazy, like I have to get through 90 chapters to start liking the series, but it was like the payoff at chapter like 90 forward was done so well. Like it's a cathartic type of series where like you read it, you get mad and you're just like, oh, but then there's a release in the end. So it's like, oh wait, that was actually like so cute. So yeah, look up the trigger warnings, but it's good. Changed my brain chemistry. Very good, very good. Next is ORV, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. This easily goes to change my brain chemistry. I would say it's above Shugo. I made a whole video about it. So if you want a deeper dive into that, here you go. It is not a romance, but it's good. And I recommend it. You guys are seeing like we're reaching near the end of the video and I'm losing my voice. So forgive me, just you know, you'll see why I love that series there. Next is Roxana. I actually like just got into this series and I didn't realize it was incomplete. Why didn't anyone tell me it was incomplete? Oh, started glitching. Sadly, it is incomplete because of what happened to the artist slash author. Oh no, just the artist. What happened to the artist? And I hope they're doing well and I hold no bitter feelings that it's incomplete because of what happened at all. But I wish that it could have been fleshed out more. I think it has the potential to be amazing. And sadly, it will just stay in that potentially amazing. I should maybe check out the novel, but I'm kind of scared. It's a scary series. It really is. Okay, next is The Redemption of Earl Nottingham. So I only read 30 chapters of this series, and for manhwa, that's like really early on in the story. And like I have mixed feelings about it, but I think it's like a good mixed feelings. Like I dislike characters, and then I'm like, maybe I don't hate you as much before, or like I like characters, and now I'm like, you're kind of annoying now. So if a series is making me question my like opinions on characters consistently, I think that's a good series. So I think it has the potential to be amazing. I just have to read more of it. But right now I'm just like really, really annoyed by it. So I'm going to wait till maybe later when I feel like picking it up again. And maybe it will be a clean slate. All right, next is Kill the Villainess. This was a clean slay, easy. It's nothing like its counterparts. It subverts a lot of typical otome isekai tropes, and like our character does not take any like abuse, and she's done. She's done with like how evil the world is to her, and I'm just like, rightfully so. Why isn't more characters like her? But of course, that's what makes her unique, and it makes it a really good read. So clean slay, I recommend it. And finally, I have Your Majesty, Please Spare Me This Time. I really loved it in the beginning because it had that dynamic of like a mean bully type of male lead to like a girl who will not stand for it, but is also really kind-hearted. Just, I can fix him type of stories. I really liked it, but currently, the guy kind of lost that. I don't know what to feel about it, because I'm like, they're completely different people now, and I don't know, maybe I need to reread it to get like a different feel for it. Maybe I misjudged it a little bit, so maybe it is user error on me, but I say potentially amazing. I will have to just reread it again to see what I've missed, and maybe it might go down to cute later, so potentially amazing. Alright, so that is 84 series. Let me just scroll down here so it is nice and clean for y'all to look at. Alright, so those were my 2024 reads, all ranked in this tier list that I've made. Now that I'm like reflecting on it, I really just read series purely on mood and series that I know I will like to a certain degree. And so maybe this year I can set a challenge for myself to maybe read more out of my comfort zone. But I'm really not that type of reader. Reading will always just be a fun pastime for me, as you can see. And I think it will stay that way. Thank you for joining me this year in my Day Reads Manga channel. And I'm so grateful to have all of you, to have someone listening to me like yap never-endingly. And I appreciate it. Thank you all. And thank you for a wonderful year. This has been Day signing out. Keep on dreaming, peeps. Bye!